Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur. This is a live video for those who are watching the delayed recording. Thus, as always, the typical warning. The first 10 minutes or so might be on topic, and then after that, who knows where it's going to go. The bad news is there might not be a whole lot of getting to the point. The good news is I normally recommend people stick around for 10, 15 minutes. That's usually the too long didn't read version of, part of the video. You know. And before we get started on this, there are a couple things I want to apologize. First of all, it is Saturday night and we have people here, so you might hear some stuff in the background. Also, I'm recovering from a very, very, very bad, stomach illness, which still seems to be affecting me. I'm keeping the fan on to keep cool, and there might be a chance the video might even end prematurely. So, just kind of giving you that heads up because I don't want there to be any surprises. Aside from that, there are two news stories I do want to talk about that I normally would have talked about yesterday had I not been so sick. Um, and the first is that Uber is apparently looking into giving drivers sick pay and parental leave. And this isn't from some ragtag news site. This is from the BBC News. And according to the BBC, the new protect ride-hailing firm Uber will give its European drivers access to medical cover and compensation for work-related injuries. The new protections include sick pay, parental leave, and bereavement payments. Uber said it previously, quote, focused too much on growth and not enough on the people who made that growth possible. No kidding. Quote, we called drivers partners, but we didn't always act like it, said Uber's chief executive Dara Kay. Interesting. The insurance and compensation package will be available to all Uber drivers and Uber Eats delivery couriers across Europe. However, unions have questioned whether the package is new. In April 2017, Uber announced illness and injury insurance cover for its drivers. Not nearly enough. Uber drivers who want to join the scheme were required to pay $2 a week. Quote, I'm highly suspicious. Is this a revamp? Is this another bite of the cherry to make themselves look caring? What's the story here? Said Steve Garelick, regional organizer for the gig economy and transport for GMB Union. James Farr, chair of the Uber private hire drivers branch of the IWGB Union, told the BBC, quote, this is not nearly enough. We have stationary rights under the law. What Uber has given us are cosmetic benefits that can be taken away at any time. Uber's announcement comes before an appeal hearing at Westminster Magistrates Court on June 25th, where a judge will decide whether Transport for London should renew Uber's private hire operations license in London. And that's where we're going to stop. I'll put the rest of the article below. Needless to say, it goes into the, how shall we say, sketchy history of Uber and how they treat drivers. Now, here's the thing. As always, I'm very suspicious of this. I am suspicious of anything Uber does. I don't think they. I think anytime they do something to benefit the drivers, they do it also to help themselves. And heck, even some of the changes that they did for our benefit during 180 days of change have been slowly taken away. For example, the most famous, the 6 destination trips filter got lowered back down to 2. And a fairly recent development, which I have not confirmed myself, in all fairness, but 3 people have emailed me that Uber no longer pays the toll to pick someone up if they need to go over a toll road, which that was part of the 180 days of change, and now Uber has apparently taken that away. Wouldn't surprise me, which makes you wonder what the 180 days of change was even for. That said, if this is genuine, if it's genuine, and if Uber actually does this, if they do this, if they actually start giving benefits and bereavement and maternity leave, then this is a good thing. This is a very good thing, and I could very happily report this. But like Media Twilight just said in the chat, and hi transporter tech and everyone else, by the way, Uber has done this before. They have trotted out benefits that have never actually come to pass. But again, that said, there is reason to believe this might be legitimate. And the reason it might be legitimate is because this is taking place over in Europe, where their transportation license was revoked, and the drivers are, to be nice, a little bit more organized than we are. They actually don't drive for pennies on the dollar and actually value their time, it seems. So, you do that combination, and Uber has to start, showing that they care. And we're seeing that. Um, and of course, another thing is that this could be legitimate for only so long, as Media Twilight points out in the chat room again, because right now, Uber's, being cozy, cozy. They're admitting they're not treating us like partners. At least in Europe, they're admitting this. Over here, I guess we're on our own. Um, and they're doing something to try to appease us. And this strategy has actually worked in the past. For the longest time, we didn't want rideshare regulated because it was so good for us. Now, once it stopped being good for us, then we started becoming, complaining little a-holes on the internet who, don't drive and just make YouTube videos all day. No, that's when we became a problem because Uber stopped treating us good. So Uber, by doing this, by giving the benefits to the European drivers, might be doing this, especially just ahead of the court's decision whether or not to let them back into London. Well, um, it could be a ploy. They will give us enough benefits and enough wiggle room and enough nice gratuities, if you will, long enough to get back into London. At which point, they will be gone. They can take them away very, very easily. Um, it's and this article, which is very good by the way, does highlight some of these things that Uber has gone back on. And now I was never one who personally cared too much for sick leave. I didn't think that was something they necessarily needed to do. It would be nice, but they didn't need to do it. I was just always like, I need money so that the car can be maintained and I can make a living wage, which right now I think they clearly don't provide. At least not unless you're willing to work insane, and I mean insane hours. It's just that's just how I feel. But who knows? Maybe this will be something legitimate. Maybe it'll be long term, and maybe it'll be good. I've got 21, well, 19 people now in the chat room. Do any of you think this is real? Are you all suspicious, or do you think this is a good thing? Let's see here. Transporter Tech said DDR and Kevin Hay, sickly from Uber. Very interesting. You've piqued my curiosity. I wonder how that would work. I wonder how it would work too. Media Twilight said, remember the healthcare insurance for every mile we make they take? I do. And Dark Road Run said, when my passengers get sick, I leave. True. Kind of reminds me of all the hospital runs I did before I officially made it a policy not, not to not to bring people to the hospital anymore because that ended up being really dangerous when I took a accepted a Lyft ride at like 1:30 in the morning, I believe, and the guy came out and his arm was all bloody. He's like, I need to get to the hospital. It's like, no, 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 you're not coming in the car like that. Hi, Niall Zaiden. I hope I'm pronouncing that. Well, what you missed, thankfully, you've only missed like 8 minutes, so when the live stream is done, you can easily restart the video and see the first 8 minutes. We're going to move on to the next topic, though, because the next topic was the other video that I wanted to make but couldn't because I was in so much pain yesterday. I mean, I am serious, guys. I was in so much pain. I was considering going to the hospital myself. And I was even contemplating like whether I should Uber there or not. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I would just drive to the hospital. I mean, it was definitely, or I would have had Katie bring me. So let's see here. So this is the next story I wanted to talk about yesterday, and it says in San Francisco, Uber, Lyft, and 10 others vie for 5 electric scooter permits. And I wasn't sure if I was going to cover too much of the electric scooter things yet, but this definitely caught my attention. And it says the scooter war of attrition has begun in San Francisco. 12 companies, including Uber and Lyft, are vying for just 5 permits that would allow them to operate a dockless, rentable electric scooter program on city streets, according to the San Francisco Municipal Transportation Agency. San Francisco officials passed a law in April limiting the number of scooters in the city. The law says that over the next year, only 5 companies will get permits to put their scooters throughout the city. The number of scooters is also limited to 1,250 in the first 6 months. If that number of scooters works, the cap could increase to 2,500. Scooters have become a divisive topic in the Bay Area, which I'm going to pause for a second, folks. I mean, considering the wage problems and especially the cost of living in San Francisco, and of course their colleges that fail people, whether they have just even a slight different opinion than them. Of course the scooters would be the big hot topic. That's what it would be. Hey boy, hey vey, life. Let's see here. The hoopla began after 3 companies, Bird, Lime, and Spin, unloaded their e-scooters in San Francisco in late March without any forewarning to lawmakers or residents. Almost instantly, hundreds of scooters swarmed the sidewalks. Some locals rejoiced at being able to easily scoot block to block in the congested city. Other people complained that riders didn't follow the laws of the road and endangered pedestrians by riding on sidewalks and leaving the scooters wherever they felt like it, blocking parking spots, bike racks, and wheelchair accesses. While the city is processing the permits, no company is allowed to have its scooters on city streets. If the companies don't follow that rule, they could forfeit their chance for a permit. The SFMTA, which is issuing the permit, said it'll likely take until the end of June to finalize the permits. Quote, the new permit and pilot was built to prioritize public safety, build in equity, and focus on accountability. To get the permits, each company has to demonstrate that it'll provide user education on wearing helmets and not ride on sidewalks, as well as best practices for safer scooter parking. They also have to be insured and have a privacy policy to safeguard users' information. The companies additionally need to share trip data with the city, provide access to neighborhoods, and offer plan for low-income riders. I'm going to pause this story really briefly, but I'm going to say this. Judging by that criteria, the demonstrate that to provide user education wearing helmets and best practices for safety parking and ensure privacy policy to safeguard users' information, and that the company needs to share trip data with the city. I guess Uber's officially out of the running. I think they are officially out of the running at that point. So, yeah. Anyway, let's continue. Let's see here. Uber, Lyft, Bird, Lime, Spin, Scoot, Razor, Ofo, and RideCell. Jeez, I didn't realize the scooter business was going to be this big. All confirmed they applied for the permit. The deadline to apply was Thursday. The other 3 companies, Cycle, Hop, U-Scooter, and Skip, didn't return requests for comment. The San Francisco Chronicle first reported the news. Sorry, guys, my foot is falling asleep, so I gotta reposition myself. The joys of doing it live. Unlike Bird, Lime, and Spin, which don't supply helmets with their scooters, Keating said Scoot is looking into providing helmets for its rides. So, yeah. Anyway, well, thank you, Nail, for the $5 super chat. That is awesome. That is very awesome. So, my first question about this is, and I'm not being critical in this, I'm just kind of amused. I never thought scooters would be considered the next big thing. I've lived through 2 scooter crazes. I lived through the Razor phase where Razor scooters were so popular, they even made PlayStation N64 and Dreamcast games based on the type of scooter, the Razor. Heck, I owned the Dreamcast Razor scooter game, mainly because my brother liked the Razor scooter, so he had interesting games for our Dreamcast. But I didn't think it was going to be this competitive, and yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense to have permits. You don't want, thousands of these things on the streets everywhere, just nilly-willy. But that's interesting. It's interesting that this is the next big thing for all these companies, although I have to say it makes a little bit of sense for Uber and Lyft because it is something that they want. It is a transportation um, method that does not have any overhead. The only thing I'm really curious about really is what happens if someone falls down. What happens when someone doesn't know how to operate one of these things, even though it's a stinking scooter? You'd think most people would be able to operate it. What happens to those people? Do they get to sue Uber and Lyft, and what does that look like? I don't know. I'm more amused by it than anything, but I business wise, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. This makes perfect sense to me. And San Francisco, of course, is the first one that's going to make it a big problem. So I don't know about the rest of the world. I don't see this being everywhere. I kind of have a hard time thinking that the Rocky Mountain highs are going to be getting this service. But yeah, San Francisco, San Diego, maybe Orange County. I don't know. Maybe Huntington Beach. I don't know. We'll see. But they'll probably get it. So anyway, I saw a lot of people were typing questions while I was looking at that news article. So let's go back up a little bit and see what people were saying. Dark Road said scooters are a privilege. Transporter Tech said, I wonder what Uber would call their scooter service. I would think something clever like Uber Scoot. That's my personal belief. Kind of has a nice ring to it. Uber Scoot. Yeah, I think that's what they call it. So, Niall, Niall Zaidan, I appreciate the super chat again. Especially since when I don't upload videos, I make a lot less money. I don't know what five means, but if you want to ask a proper question, feel free to. Um, Ed Vass said, "Oh yeah, let's wear a helmet that 40 other people have worn." Yeah. Oh, Sam K, welcome. I'm always glad to have a first time viewer. Well, good for you. I'll probably be giving away a movie today. Um, let's see here. Joshua Lynn reporting him. Who are you reporting? I don't get that. Let's see here. I think I skipped a few. So, Dark Road Run said those electric rental scooters are death traps. Brakes suck. MB says you won't get messed up at a DUI checkpoint if you got a Uber sticker. Well, here's the interesting thing, guys, and this is DUIs. You don't have to be driving a car to get a DUI. If you're riding a bicycle drunk, you can get a DUI. Um, the whole. It's kind of like how you don't need to be drunk on alcohol. You can have cough syrup in you in impairing your vision or your senses. It's called driving under influence. Driving can apply to any vehicle. Influence can be anything that impairs your senses. So I've heard stories of people who get DUIs for really strange situations, but it does happen. It's just the most common reason to get a DUI is, of course, if you're driving drunk. So let's see here. Oh, Kevin Joseph, I didn't realize you were here. Hi, how you doing? MB asks, "What's your full-time job now?" Well, honestly, it's YouTube for the time being. I mean, I have several business ventures, and entrepreneurs need to have several business ventures, but a good chunk of the money comes from YouTube now. That is why I am privileged to be able to upload videos every day, except on days when I am sick. And and it's not just because of this one channel. I have four channels, and two of them make money, and one of them's dangerously close to making money. So that's that's what I do for a living. And Media Todd says, "Hey, to be honest, do you still drive, Kevin?" I drive a little for Postmates, not for Uber and Lyft. Now let me go back down to the more current stuff. Hi, Storm DCW. Let's see here. Supporter Tech said, "Oh, by the way, if you can't afford to super chat, remember you can always smash that like button. Yes, likes on the video do help. You don't have to give me money. I appreciate it when you do, but you definitely don't have to do that. Um, but likes are free and they do help. So, hey William, how you doing from DC? You ever take a ride with Uber DC over there? Bruce Planto, Texas said, "Let's get a bunch of scooters and have a scooter race." Yeah, that's the kind of thing that's going to get Uber Scoot pulled from the streets because of stuff like that. Um, so let's see here. Me and Twilight, Uber Hint did the same thing. Awesome. Hey, do you get referral money? Not a whole lot. I leave the referral codes up because if you're that determined to I'm sorry, one second. Sorry, yeah, okay, that clears things up a little bit. If you are really determined to try this, whether it be Postmates or Uber or Lyft, then I do honestly want to help you. You will get a bonus. The bonus is the only time that I believe you are genuinely making money doing this. Also, I do consider it a form of protest for Uber and Lyft because people always quit after they get the promo money. And people think that's dishonest. And no, it's not. I'm not taking money from drivers. I'm taking money from the companies. I mean, this is one of their biggest expense, getting drivers on board. They do it for like a month or two to get the bonus and then they leave. And I think that's a good way to protest. And, you drain them $1,000 a pop. So I know some people disagree with it. And hey, trust me, I'm not telling people, hey, sign up below. Try giving Uber a shot, and then I go on to tell you how much Uber sucks. No, I make it very clear this is not something you want to do. But hey, if you're that determined to give it a try, you might as well get a bonus out of it. So, Dave Style said, when will drivers get sick leave? Well, there was some debate on that. I don't know. Here's the other thing about that. I don't know if they're actually going to get it because if it is true that it's more of a negotiating tactic to get back on into London, then I don't think drivers will see a penny of that. I think it's going to be a gesture to show that they're trying to make things better with the drivers or trying to pay them better. Keep in mind, this is Europe. This is not America. Um, People in European countries have much higher standards for themselves when it comes to working for these companies. And they're going to flaunt these potential benefits that they're thinking of in hopes of getting their license reinstated. If the transportation for London is smart, what they will do is they will put a stay of execution on the company where you can continue to operate, but within yay amount of days, if you have not followed up on any of these improvements or even most of these improvements, that license can take away. Basically, let them work to get their license back, in my opinion. This is what protesting Uber can do. You do it properly, you get stuff from them because they don't want to go out of business. So there you have it. Okay, let's see here. Joshua Lynn said calling him out and he won't show, so I'll make videos then to prove him wrong. I again, I just don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. Transporter Tech, yeah, I say stick it to Uber. Haha. Me to Twilight is okay. They $1 billion industry. Well, they're $1 billion industry, but they're not profitable. That's why I think so far Uber has been the ultimate failure. If you make a company and it's not successful, then if it's successful in every aspect except making money, then I'm not sure how much of a success that really is. So, Niall Zidane said, on the bright side, gas going back down. Well, I wish I saw the gas going back down. Just went over $4 for me. Bruce Planto, Texas said, Uber drivers are not allowed to be sick. It's in the fine print in the contract. I don't know about that, but you know what? It is in the fine print that you can drop passengers off if you want to, even if it's an airport. So, Joshua Lynn, yeah, I must be missing the original comment. I must just be missing it. I'm sorry. Part-time driver said, what's the scooter for? The scooter's for Uber and Lyft's new business. So let's see here. Gas prices going down where? Yeah, that's what I want to know. So anyway, while we're waiting for a few more questions, boy, my leg is falling asleep, so I got to kind of stand. I do have, oops. Let's see here. I usually give out free movies during these live streams. So for any first timers out there, welcome. You may have a chance to score a free movie, but I stupidly did not have one of those codes ready when I started this. So I'm wondering, do I have any to give out? There's some Sonic comics. I'm kind of cleaning the room right now because of Oh, okay. So there's one that I can give out. Let me see if I can't find another one so that maybe we could have a vote on what movie I'm going to be giving out tonight. Unfortunately, that Westworld code was redeemed, so we won't be doing that. So where this is, I know this is like the least exciting aspect of the live stream, but just no, I can't find the other one. But I know it's somewhere here, and I'm sure I will figure it out. So anyway, let's catch up, and then I'll let you guys know which movie I'm going to be giving away. It's this is a bizarre one. I actually have no idea if this is any good or not. So if this movie sucks, I am so sorry. Right now, it's the only one I can find. So anyway, let's see here. How about Uber Eats is rising? That makes sense. Uber Eats is very convenient. Dark Road runs it. I'll sub to your. Oh, you're not. That's not to me. Transporter Tech. Thanks for making that vid about the terms of service. By the way, yeah, that video took a long time to make. I wish more people had watched it, but you know what? I know going through 20 minutes of watching someone read the TOS is not exactly fun. Um, Dave Style said driverless scooters. No, I think the people would still be driving it. Bruto Planto said, "Whatever happened to Uber boats? It still exists, but it's not expanding the way that they thought it would." Niall said NYC was 310, went down to 296. Oh, I would love to do that. Bruce Planto, Texas said thoughts on the Solo movie. The Solo movie was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. I didn't like it anywhere near as much as I liked The Last Jedi. I thought The Last Jedi was a masterpiece and one of the best films of last year. But Solo was definitely very enjoyable. In fact, you know what? Just for fun, it's gonna have to wait till after the live stream. But I will post the link to my Solo review below in the description when the live stream is over, so you can read my thoughts on it. It was a spoiler. It was a 3 star out of 5 review, which was good. A recommendation, but not an especially high one. Let's see here. Part-time driver said Flex Drive E85 299 in LACA. Why isn't the gas lowering where I live? Dave said in Santa Monica their gas station's at 4.99 a gallon. We haven't seen 310 here in California. Yeah, that's terrible. So and Transport Tech said Solo was surprising. And I was like, can you get the Avengers? Avengers isn't out. Well, it's not on video yet. But the movie that I'm giving away is technically a superhero movie. It is that. It's a strange one, it looks like, though. I don't know why I bought this, to be perfectly honest. um, I'm curious. Does anyone have any idea what I'm gonna be giving out? Because I'm afraid you guys are gonna lose a lot of respect for me for giving this movie out. But I'm just curious if it's even in anyone's radar that this is what I might be giving out tonight. Uh, while I'm waiting for that, Media Twilight said, "Hey, I never hear from Simple Driver video anymore after the cutting rate problem." Simple Driver, um, from what I understand, he does not like to comment on the rates. He feels like a lot of people feel, and it's a valid position to have, that you can't control the rates, but there are other things about your business you can control, and that's a very valid statement. It's one that I complain about frequently because it's very hard to make money when the rates are so low. But I can see where he's coming from, and also he's starting a new business opportunity, and he's been showing it off in his other channel. And so if you want to find out what he's doing, that's what you can do. But I think his time with the rideshare community might be a little bit more limited in the near future, but I could be wrong. He makes good videos, so I hope he continues to do so. Let's see here. Gurjit Kishan said, "Hey Kevin, I was in Toronto. Uber there is non-existent. Yeah, they're not very big in Toronto." Bruce Planto said, "Are Uber drivers getting gas charges or rate increase to cover increased cost of gas? If not, then why not? Uber could pass that through the drivers because they're not getting that for the most part because Uber doesn't want to pass the cost to the passengers. They just want to pay us less. Some places had no choice but to give like a 10% increase, but in my opinion, especially someone who got the rate increase at the time when the gas was $3.40 a gallon, I was definitely of the opinion of that's kind of insulting. I need at least $1 raise. I mean, I was barely doing it when the gas was $1.80 a gallon, and now you're saying an additional 10 cents will help me when the gas is almost $4 a gallon. No, that's not going to help. Transport Tech says love the simple driver. William Dudley said DC 276 Penguin a gallon. Interesting. Well, anyway, folks, I guess I'll share with you what the movie that I'm considering that I'm probably going to be giving out for free. It's Batman Ninja. Apparently, this was a real thing. I don't know why I bought this. But it exists. And as you can see, it's brand new. The code has not been redeemed, so I'm going to open this and I will give you guys the code. I will put the code, and it's pretty simple. I'll start off by giving the website address that you can redeem this thing at, and then I will post the code. And whoever copies the code first and gets it into the website first gets a free digital copy of the movie, whether it be iTunes or Vudu or Fandango Now, which I'm kind of surprised that the Target ticket streaming service went under, but the Fandango Now survives. That's very interesting. So anyway, I'm sorry if the camera's shaky, but I am opening this right now. So there they are. Now then, we'll still wait a few minutes before we actually give it out. But in the meantime, let's go back up. Let's see here. Transport Tech said, oh, sorry. Tony B. Ford Edge said, Uber and Lyft should pay the driver the distance they drive to get to the customer. Yep, I agree. I totally agree. But again, they're really not interested in doing that. Media Twilight said Uber not the same anymore. Customer getting rude. Some drivers are trying to get women's number. That's wrong. No, I agree. Oh, sorry, I got the hiccups all of a sudden. When Katie was doing Lyft, she was asked by many people for her phone number. Now, the first day she said no. Of course, they flagged her for being rude and all that jazz. But I told her, well, start giving out a phone number, but like make it a fake number. So, I just tell people give people fake numbers and what are they gonna know the difference? Let's see here. Part-time driver said customers get upfront pricing. Drivers should also get guaranteed fair rate before. Yes, and that's why I like Caviar the most, because Caviar gives you that upfront fare, or at least they let you know what you're going to get, and you can choose whether you want to accept that ride or not. I got to turn the volume off on this Surface so that it doesn't conflict with, video. Bruce Planto said, "Bring back Blockbuster." Oh man, I live near a Blockbuster that has been closed since the Blockbusters first closed, and it's really sad to look at it, especially when you go up and you see like the inside and how like certain like Blockbuster bags and stuff are still there. And a couple of the signs are still there, and it's like, wow, that is so sad. Let's see here. Bruce Planto said, anyone else seeing the new serving Uber commercials on TV? Hard for me not to throw up. Yeah. I'm eventually going to make a video about that. Oh, hey, RB. How you doing? Transporter Tech said, yep, incels trying to hit on their Uber drivers. Yep. And Media Twilight says, transfer text. Some Uber driver I know are convicted. They still pass the background. Yep. Dark Road Run said, we have a lot of packs in San Francisco that use pool to hook up with female passengers. Starting to call it Tinder Pool. Okay. Well, on that note, let's give away the movie. So for those of you who might just be checking in, I'm giving out a copy of Batman Ninja. This is a real thing. So, anyway, first things first, that's the website in the live chat that you can go to potentially redeem this. Now then, I'm going to put in the code Y7. I guess that's an S. So I will now press enter for the code. And there you go. Whoever gets the code redeemed first gets a free digital copy of Batman Ninja. I'm going to be very curious to see who gets it, by the way. But for the record, the other code I was looking for was Jurassic World, but maybe we should save that for when the sequel comes out. So, Media Twilight, did you get the movie? If so, congratulations. Let's see here now. Then part-time driver says, "Is caviar available in OC or just LA?" Oh, I wish it was available in the OC. I would probably do caviar a little every night if it was in the OC. That's how much I loved it. But no, right now it's just in LA. Which I'll give caviar credit. They're trying to be profitable before they expand. That might ultimately serve them well. Oh, sorry, Media Twilight. Sorry you didn't get the movie. Dave Styles says, "Do you still drive? If not, how do you pay the bills?" I answered this earlier. I have several businesses, and I make a lot of money on YouTube, and I have an eBay store that's pretty successful. And yeah, that's how I make. And I have books. I mean, go to Amazon and Barnes and Noble, search Kevin T. Rodriguez. I have books. I get book royalties every day. That's how I make. That's how I make money these days. I'm a, as you would say, successful journalist who actually manages to make money doing what he does. So, William Dudley said, "Sorry, Kevin, my Cricket wireless phone is terrible. I do not recommend the service to anyone, but in DC, gas in the suburbs, $2.76 a gallon, and also in addition, in some suburbs, the Uber rates are like $1.03. Yeah, that's brutal. That is brutal." Bruce Planto said, "Hope the new Jurassic World movie is good, not holding the breath, though." Robert Allen said, "Drivers are actually paying for their own sick leave. DAR will just deduct more fees from drivers' pay and pass it off as Uber paying." Oh, sorry, Dave. I thought you were the one that. Sorry, guys. I got to pause for a second. Sorry, Dave, if I snapped at you. Maybe it was another Dave. I thought you already asked that question, so sorry. Didn't mean to snap at you. Anyway, back to Robert. Yeah, Robert, I actually agree. I'm thinking that's what the medical benefits and the sick leave and stuff's going to look like. I think the drivers will ultimately be paying for it. That said, there is something to be said for, yeah, maybe like 10% of your income is deduced for sick leave, but then you can see it build up. And then if you want to take a vacation, you can get paid sick leave. So you know what? Even if that's how they do it, it's better than nothing. I'll say that. So anyway, Media Twilight said caviar is good, but not by caviar, no. So let's see here. Bruce Planto said, "Don't forget royalties from modeling, hats, and caps." I am working on making an official Apptrepreneur beanie, by the way. One that you guys would be able to buy if you so choose. So that will be another business venture. I guess I'm looking into getting into the beanie and t-shirt business. So let's see here. RB says, "Gas prices will be the deciding factor how Uber will retain their drivers. The higher the gas prices, the less people will drive. How's prices in SoCal?" In many places, over $4 a gallon. And it does not seem to be deterring a lot of people. Yeah, Twilight. Kevin, personal question. Hate me if I ask. You have a kid or a girlfriend? I definitely have someone special in my life, but no kids. And once in a while, she pops up on these live streams just to say I love you. And if you want to see our date adventures, you can go to the YouTube channel Aspie on YouTube, where I actually release vlogs of our dates. So you can, you can check me out there. Little pro beanie. Hey, Mario Rodriguez, how you doing? Tech Transporter Tech said Apptrepreneur merch. I'll buy one. Awesome. Because I'm probably going to have to launch it as a Kickstarter. I mean, I've used Kickstarter several times for other projects, and I never consider it like a way to beg for money like some people do. When I do Kickstarter things, I say, guys, this is how much we need to sell to make it feasible, because most of these ventures have like an upfront cost. It's like if you want to pre-order your item, you can do it here, and if we have enough pre-orders, then they'll go into production. If they don't, well, then we don't make it. It's that simple. Um, Tony B for Ford Edge said, "What do you do when someone cancels mid-trip to get a free ride?" I have handled that the same way I always handle it. I complete the ride, uh, and then I email Uber or Lyft afterwards and bug them until they pay me the difference. Muted Twice said, Uber couple. I will check that out. LOL. Transporter Tech said, if it's a cool product, then it's all good. RB, don't have kids. Way too expensive. Well, I think we both kind of want kids at some point. So I know it's expensive, but, you know. Bruce Planto said, someone please start a Kickstarter for a new rideshare service company. Well, guys, rideshare services companies start all the time. There's a new one out there called Yay Driver. It's a little different than Uber and Lyft in the sense that you have to pay to use the app, and you have to get your own commercial insurance, but otherwise you get to keep 100% of the fares, and that's out there. So if you want an alternative to Uber and Lyft, start downloading apps like that. Tony B. Ford Edge said, you're so nice, I would tell them to get the F out of my car and pull her on the side of the road. Even if I'm on expressway, I'll pull over and make them walk the shoulder. Yeah, well, the funny thing is I used to kick people out, and I found out very, very quickly you can definitely escalate a bad situation. Because here's the thing. One phrase that I've developed a saying since I started doing this. Never underestimate people's determination to be cheap. And unfortunately, you have like a lot of drunk alpha males, for lack of a better word, who think that they are entitled to a free ride. And when you catch them in the act, they are willing to get very physical with you in a very, very bad way. They will probably beat you up or threaten you with violence. So, you know what? Drop them off, send them an email, and let them get surprised in the morning when their bill went up. Oh, Gustavo. So you got the movie. Well, congratulations. Robert Allen says they canceled and kick their butt to the curb. Well, I just addressed why that's probably not a good idea, but he's his own. Oh, Moose54321, how you doing? Uber paying sick leave sounds like we are more and more like employees. I personally believe that there will be other Lyft Uber lawsuits because of the most recent Supreme Court ruling. Well, the unfortunate thing about the most recent Supreme Court ruling is that they ruled against. They ruled that basically people who do class action lawsuits have to deal with it in arbitration, which means I don't know how many of these are going to go forward at this point. So, yeah, we'll have to see how that works out. Bruce Planto said, got to have kids. Who else is going to take care of you when you are old and senile? I assume the old folks home would do that, but, Tony B. Fordetch said their determination to be cheap won't be as much as me pointing my firearm at them. Oh, you carry a firearm. Okay. Well, I guess, and I'm just playing devil's advocate again. I wish I had I probably wish I had more courage to kick people out of my car when they try to do that. I guess the negative thing about pulling out your firearm is, yes, they will definitely get out of the car. But then you might be deactivated from Uber and Lyft for carrying a firearm. I would personally not pull out the firearm unless your life was in danger. And as frustrating as it is, you know what? I'll just finish the trip. I still get my money in the long run, and they don't get away with it, and you don't escalate the situation as far as I'm concerned. Hi, SSSS. Nice to see you here. RB said, no guarantees your kids will take care of you. Nope, there is not. Me to Twilight. I get scared at bar pickup. They get flirty with women they find, but some just way too flirty. The guy get angry and people look at their lady. They almost pick a fight with me. Yeah, I've had that a couple times where the girl was getting very flirty with me of all people. That's how you can tell they're drunk, that they're looking at, Eric Cartman and they're thinking, yeah, I want to get with him. But, and I try to deflect them as best as I can. Um, but the boyfriends definitely get jealous. In fact, there was one time I actually picked up a group of people. The girl sat in the front. She was super flirty with me. Dropped them off. Picked them up again later. But this time the boyfriend made it a point to sit in the front seat with me so that she couldn't be as flirty, which I was perfectly fine with. I was perfectly fine if it would not lead to a problem. But that's just that's definitely another problem that you have to face sometimes. So, anyway, let's see here. Bruce Planto says, need to put James Bond style ejector seats in the back. Just hit a button and poof. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Transport Tech girls love Cartman. Well, on the show, they don't like Cartman, except for Heidi. That girl ended up dating him, and boy, what a jerk. He turned her into him. SSSS said, hey, so my idea about the Slack group wanted your honest view to help organize. Drivers like a big WhatsApp. Guys, been telling you for years. You want to organize? Just stop driving. That's the best. And then get with other people. But if everyone stopped driving, we wouldn't be talking about low rates. But we've had a long time to do this and a lot of heads up, but a lot of people just won't do it. So Tony B. Ford Edge said, I'm not an Uber driver. I am 16 years old. I'm just saying what I would do if someone tries to screw me over. Although I do drive my sister around everywhere, so I guess that makes me a personal taxi. Oh, yeah, I remember those days. Dave says, yeah, what's up with these flirty passengers? I get chicks invite me in their house all the time. Uh, well, yeah. It's just the nightlife. What can I say? Bruce says girls love beanies. Guys, I don't wear the beanie outside of the beanie is pretty much exclusive to the channel. Transporter Tech girls love YouTubers. I actually have a couple videos on my channel. You have to kind of search for them because it's been a while. But when they found out that I'm on YouTube, they want to do like a live shout out. So we'd get on live and we do a little shout out. And those are times when rideshare can be a lot of fun. No kidding. Times like those, rideshare is so much fun. It's a kind of a shame that I lose money when I do it, so I can't have that fun now. SSSS says, LOL, I already do drive once a month while NYC rates is meh. Me to Twilight said, everybody have to admit rideshare is addicting, the nightlife, all that, strangers singing. Yeah, the karaoke things when you're playing like the Ghostbuster soundtrack and everyone in the car is going like, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! It's addicting. It really is. And I understand why people complain about my videos, like they say, "Oh, he's too negative." And yeah, I'm negative because I'm reporting on the news, and the news is usually pretty piss poor. But I love doing it, and that's one of the reasons I get so pissed off because I want to continue doing it, and they're not making it possible. Um, oh hey, Crystal Lee, been a while. Hey Kevin, just tuned in. It's midnight in Chicago. I don't drive the after hours, even though Surge is up 3 times now. I don't recommend women drive at night either. I'm not going to make any comments that girls are ill equipped to deal with the night, but guys during the bar hours are very, very aggressive and it's just not safe. You are deliberately putting yourself in a bad position, and I just don't recommend it. I don't even recommend it to some guys. I honestly tell people, guys, if you look like me, unless you have a weapon, you know, pepper gel, a hammer, a gun, whatever, I wouldn't do it. You need some protection. And for girls, I'm sorry. I maybe that's just the um, gentleman side of me, but I don't think girls should have to deal with some of those people. So, personal opinion, though, of course. Darkwood Run says, "I tell them looking's for free. Touching's gonna." Wow. Bruce Planto said, "What would be the best party car to have for Uber?" Um, check out Dark Road Run's channel. That would be the best party car to have for Uber. So much so that I even contemplated having him help me set up one of those setups for my own car and do rideshare again just for fun. But frankly, I have too many things that make me money. So, um, Crystal Lee says rideshare can be fun. Sometimes it is. See, everyone's in the chat. They're already starting with the Ghostbusters. So, Crystal Lee said drunken people don't smell good. Well, some non-drunk people don't smell good either, to be honest. DK recommends a taser. Transporter Tech says, whenever I drive at night, my ratings always take a hit. Yeah, I kind of noticed that too. Dave says, Uber hires undocumented immigrants. That's one reason why too many drivers and lower rates. Uber knows they will work for cheap, and unfortunately, Uber lets them drive and looks the other way. Yeah, there is a very good point to be made about that, because here's the thing. I know this is going to come off as an attack on some people. It's not, I can assure you. But with Uber rates as low as they are, frankly, if that's what you're willing to work for, that show says more about what you feel about yourself or what that says about your ability to find other job than it does about Uber and Lyft. I know that sounds like a slant. Trust me, I am not thinking about anyone in particular. I know someone's going to think it. It's not. I've actually had that opinion for a long, long time. Let's see here. Media Twilight. I once had a 3 a.m. A guy talking about Trump, and he was drunk talking about slitting throat. Is scary country. Well, if you want to talk about a scary country, when I was doing Uber Pool, and I've shared this story before, but I'll share it again. I got a Trump campaigner and a Hillary campaigner in the same car on Uber Pool. And holy cow, I thought someone was going to die that night. I thought someone was going to die. Or was it the afternoon? I think it was the afternoon. But anyway, I was expecting something to happen because it did not take more than a few seconds for the Trump supporter to say, hi, socialist, and the Hillary supporter said, hi, deplorable. And I was like, oh God, oh God, oh God, just please get me to the destination alive. Please. That was like one of my worst nightmares. I really need to make a separate video about that because the story can't stay buried in the live streams. It just can't. Um, let's see here. Bruce Planto says, Dark Road Run always finds new ways to get tipped. Robert Allen says, Uber eats it. Bruce Planto said, thinking about doing Uber Select with my Lincoln MKX Hybrid, but is it even worth it? You know, I'm actually not very car literate, to be honest. You know who is, though? Your personal driver and ride with Peterson. I know Peterson's taking a break right now, but ask one of them. They might be able to help you with that. SS says, I had a Uber pool guy and a girl gets drunk. Let's just say stuff went down. RB says, Uber sucks. I'm Lyft only. Well, Lyft unfortunately has their bad side too. Robert recommends to Bruce that is not worth it. So, Jason Turbyfill said, what about strategy to avoid crummy short rides? Unfortunately, there really is none. You don't know what's going to be a short ride until you actually get it. That's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. DK, that's hilarious, Kevin. Glad you survived that one. I'm so glad I survived that one. And you know what the scary thing was when they actually tried to pull me into this. They actually looked at me. At one point, they both looked at me and almost simultaneously said, so who are you voting for? And it was like, guys, don't bring me into this. I really don't want to discuss this. And I don't think... Yeah, you guys probably won't like my answer anyway. Which, for the record, because I get this question a lot for some reason, I voted for Gary Johnson. So, there. Revealed. Let's hear. Dave says, I frequently have pool passengers argue, and of course I get the bad rating since they can't rate the other passenger. Yeah. Uber apparently implemented a fix for that. I don't know if it actually works, though, because pool drivers, especially those who take up express pool, they have told me that they get pretty consistently low star grades. So I don't know if that Uber pool protection rating is as effective as Uber says it is. Bruce said, Hillary supporter versus Trump supporter, worst case scenario for pool riders. Yes, it was.
DK, I drive in DC, never discuss politics with passenger. Oh, hell, I live in California. Never even hint at politics in California. Bruce Planto said some drivers call ahead to ask destination. Don't think Uber would approve. Uber does not approve of that. And get too many complaints about that happening, you can get deactivated, even though, as an independent contractor and as an owner of my own business, I think I should be allowed to inquire about such information. So I'll leave it at that. Um, Media Twilight said, I met a rapper celebrity in San Rafael. He is one of the kindest person and tipped me so much. He loves talking. Yeah, I actually gave Will Ferrell a ride, and that was one of the best hour rides I ever had. He was very nice, and he wasn't offended that I was a film critic on that was like my main job, that I reviewed movies, and we kind of joked about some of the movies that I gave bad reviews to and some of the movies that I liked. He was actually very surprised that I had seen Everything Must Go and that I loved it, because that is a very underrated Will Ferrell movie. It's not funny, for the record, but it wasn't supposed to be. And he gave me like a $300 tip. It was like a time surge, so that was like about $600 for an hour, and that was a good night. The only thing about the night that was a little odd when it ended, well, maybe it wasn't odd, but after I dropped him off, I kind of like waved at security guards, and I was very well aware that the security guards were watching me like a hawk until I drove out. I mean, in all fairness, that's what they're paid for. They're paid to make sure crazy people don't break in. So, but I had no intention of doing anything, so it all worked out. Um, let's see here. Crystal said most folks in Chicago hate Trump, so there's never any disagreements. Yeah, where I get into trouble is I hate Trump, but I also don't think every single thing he does is the most offensive thing in the world, and that's where I get in trouble. I kind of hope that he does as good a job as he can, and I hope he does good because I was raised to support our leaders, and I will respect him because he is our president. And come election time, I will vote for someone else. So that's my position, and apparently that's a really bad thing to live by. So anyway, Robert Allen, Uber don't approve of anything that doesn't conform to the Nazi Dara. Well, they don't approve of anything that doesn't conform to their business. SS said the issue with the Uber pool safeguard, it tells the rider this will not affect the driver. They should hide it. Yeah, right. I kind of doubt that, to be honest. Media Twilight, no, I agree with you, Kevin. We love America. Crystal Lee said, I find Trump hilarious. I actually find Trump hilarious too. I find not only Trump hilarious, I find the way the media reacts to him hilarious. Like, when I read CNN, I'm sorry, but it's like I'm reading The Onion. Like, they worry about things he says on Twitter that they have absolutely no reason in their right mind to worry about. And look, guys, I get it. He's an idiot, but get a life. um, Media Twilight said we want change. MS Silverhander said Trump is great. Well, hey, I'm glad you feel that way. I see no reason to disagree with someone who thinks the president is great and sleeps comfortably at night. There's a lot of people who aren't sleeping comfortably at night. So yeah, I'm glad you think he's great. Dave says Trump is actually doing what he promised during his campaign. That's what irks people. People aren't used to a president that actually does what he promised during the campaign. Well, I think he also bothers them because I mean, granted, he has done a lot more. He has followed through with more of his promises than most elected officials. I will give him that. A lot of people hate what he was promising, and so that's one of the reasons they're really upset. But I think another reason people really dislike him is that how should I put this? He cares enough about what people think of him to make a big stink about it, but he cares not enough about them, I guess I should say, to not listen to what other people have to say. I hope I worded that correctly, but I mean, there's a lot of reasons he rubs people the wrong way, and I'm
totally sympathetic to the people that he rubs the wrong way. There are times I read his statements and it's like, but like, that's my president. But again, I respect him, and I respect him because that's how my dad, who ironically, my dad raised me to respect the president. I know I'm getting a little personal here, and this actually might be the most political I've ever discussed now that I think about it, and did not anticipate this is the direction that I was going to go. But I remember when, I mean, I was alive during Reagan and Bush Sr. Um, did not realize they were my presidents. I don't even think I really heard of them, to be honest. The first president I was aware of was Bill Clinton. And I remember when he was walking out of the plane, and this was before the Lewinsky scandal and everything, of course, but he pointed to Bill Clinton and he said, "That man is our president. He is the leader of the free world, and he is deserving of our respect." And he he just really hammered that in. And I remember when it was Bill Clinton versus Bob Dole, and this was when I found out that my parents actually hated Bill Clinton. Like they hated him. I also found out that because of Bill Clinton shutting down some of the air forces, that is why my dad lost his job and why we almost had to move. It's because of Bill Clinton. He balanced the budget, and I will give him a lot of credit for that. But there was collateral damage when he did that, and my family was one of it, or some of it, I should say. And yet, even if Clinton was going to get reelected, and my dad had already lost his job because of this man, because Bill Clinton personally shut this place down. This wasn't just a theoretical, Clinton cost my dad his job. No, Bill Clinton actually had McClellan shuttered. So because of Bill Clinton, my dad lost his job. And even when he won re-election, with that knowledge, my dad continued to say, he's our president for another 4 years. He deserves our respect. And he said the same thing with George W. Bush. He said the same thing with Barack Obama. And so I have grown up, and now Trump is my president. And he is not my guy. I did not vote for him. But he is my president. Therefore, I respect him. The interesting thing about the situation, of course, and I know that people are probably commenting like crazy. I will read those comments, trust me, is that my dad seems to not be following his own advice right now that he raised me. He is not following the values that he bestowed upon me. He seems genuinely terrified of Trump. And it has caused more than one disagreement between us where I'm like, Dad, you raised me to respect the office. And granted, there is someone in it that you probably never even imagined being there and does things that a president, for all intents and purposes, should probably not do. But I'm disappointed nonetheless that the advice you raised me on so proudly does not appear to be taken into consideration with this president. So I know people leave comments saying that they suspect I'm a Trump supporter. I'm really not, but I am a Trump supporter in the sense that he is my president, and I will respect my president. And hopefully in a couple of years we'll have another president. I would honestly like to support a better president, to be honest, but um, I will support him as long as he's in office, and I will hope he does the right thing. And now I got to read all these comments because I'm sure that got some. How many dislikes did I get from that spiel? I'm just gonna refresh this page real quick and see how many people disliked my video because of that spiel. I had one already. Come on. Well, anyway. Let's see here. Oh, no new dislikes. Thanks, guys. And thanks for all the new likes, by the way. Definitely appreciate that. So now we got to play catch up with the comments. Moose says, Will Ferrell didn't take Uber Black. I would have assumed he would have taken the most expensive vehicle. I would have suspected that too. But you know what might have happened because the person's name on the account was Dave. It might have been an assistant or someone who was calling for Will Ferrell's car. And sometimes the studios are cheap in certain areas. It's kind of funny, really. Crystal Lee said he's a constant stand-up comedy routine. SSSS, as long as no nukes go off. Media Twilight said, "Do you think Uber will expand to North Korea? LOL. If we get along with North Korea." Huh. You know, wow. I don't know why, but for some reason, that strikes me as both a simultaneously good idea and yet also a simultaneously ironic idea. I don't know why. Maybe it's the fact that if North Korea starts to open up its borders because Kim Jong Un has said he would like to like open a McDonald's like in North Korea, like of all the things to bring North Korea, McDonald's, really that's what you want? But for one of the most evil corporations who take advantage of everyday drivers on a very daily basis, that would be very, I think, poetic if they were one of the first American companies to expand to North Korea. Um, Transporter Tech says, "You guys lost me the politics stuff. I say the Apptrepreneur for president. I no, I don't want that job. So, with all due respect." No, thanks. Dave said, "Of course they will. Cheap labor." Flacco says Trump with a wake up call for this country, so all the other idiots. Anyway, Crystal Lee, I respect Trump's authority pronounce Cartman style, but he's still amusing. Yes. Dave says, "Can you take off the beanie?" I could, but I won't. But if you look at one of my other YouTube channels, and the links are below in the description, you can see me beanieless if you want. Moose said, "We are a divided nation. A lot of people are on one side or the other. They either love or hate Trump." And, here's the sad thing about that. I kind of feel like this, I've been through this before because I remember when George W. Bush was up for re-election and his opponent was John Kerry. John Kerry ran on the platform, "I'm not Bush," which effectively turned the election into you're either with me, you're either for Bush or against Bush. And I don't like voting that way. And I think this election was really way worse in the regards that some people were so dedicated to the Republican Party that Trump was the biggest nightmare in the world. Likewise, some people on the Democratic Party were so dedicated to the party that they would support Hillary Clinton or yeah, basically everyone was supporting their party too much to realize that maybe this was the first year we should have been voting third party. So, and I don't see it getting a whole lot better because unfortunately I think the only thing people have taken away from this is that the other opponent has to be more extreme than the other, and that's a really bad measuring stick to have. Let's see here. Dark Road, gotta make like a baby and head out. Saturday Night Surge. Later, Kevin, everyone. Wish you all a great night. Well, see you later, Dark Road Run. Grinder A said, Kevin, I've recently been fined $100 for parking on a white zone at the airport. Has this occurred to anyone? You know what? I feel really stupid right now. I have to actually look up what the white zone is because I kind of forgot. White zone. By the way, hi driver lady pro. Haven't seen you in a while. Is the let's see here. Let's see here. White zone tickets. Can you get ticketed for a white zone? Apparently that has happened to other people before. I don't know the circumstances, but I'm looking it up, and people have been ticketed for parking in the white zone. So let's see here. MS Silverhander said, "What did I miss? Just got in from a wonderful $37.96 night for 3 hours of." Right, wow. Actually got first surge ride in weeks, maybe a month, making about $12 to $13 an hour. Fantastic. Yep, that's why I'm not. So hey, you made $37. You can drop a super chat then. Yay. Just kidding. You don't need to do that. Media Twice said, Kevin, how about Sunday bar night? Give it a try. Sundays, from my experience, were typically not very good. Most people I picked up on Sundays seem to be coming home from like dinners and stuff, but not necessarily bars. Um, hey, Uberman, how you doing? um, let's see here. Bruce Planto said, "Agreed. USA was made great because people listened to each other and tried to find common ground and compromise. Nowadays, it is all or nothing." Yeah, and you know what? There's actually a scene from House of Cards, which I know that probably seems like really poor, a poor example to use at this day and age. But there's a scene where Kevin Spacey is talking to clearly not Vladimir Putin, and there's a prisoner that Russia is holding because he's gay, and um, Spacey has come to negotiate his release, and they are going back and forth, and there are strong lines that they will not cross. And at one point, Kevin Spacey said, "Can we at least imagine what a middle ground would look like?" And the Russian president seems kind of stunned, like nobody ever thought, like, yeah, middle ground. There should be a middle ground in this, and I kind of wish more people had that thinking. Um, let's hear. Oh, thank you, Driver Lady Pro. Definitely appreciate that. Let's see here. Uberman is everywhere all the time. Of course he is. And apparently he's making Uber videos again, so I better make sure I get them up before he does. Moose said, thoughts on the vote recount and Supreme Court ruling between Al Gore and George W. Bush. I, without getting into too much detail, after what I've read and everything, I do ultimately agree with the Supreme Court's decision on that one. And I agree with it for a lot of reasons, not the least of which I think the Democrats were being a little shady in some of their requests for the recount. Um, I agreed that there was probably a certain level that needed to be recount, particularly in Florida, but some of the things they were asking were a little far fetched, in my opinion. But that's just me. Um, so anyway, let's see here. SS said, I send you an email a while back, Uberman. Talking to Uberman. Okay, so Driver Lady Pro said, Sun Night sucks, except in Boys Town, whose guys go all the weekend. See what happens, Uberman? All my comments start talking to you when you join the chat. So, anyway, let's see here. Thomas says, did you ever hear of Jimmy the Hobo? He was live streaming Uber rides. Uber deactivated him. Yeah, it's interesting. Uber's policy officially states that you are allowed, that you won't get deactivated for live streaming, and yet it seems to happen, I've noticed. So, um, Transporter said, Kevin Spacey? Well, you know what? I'm sorry. He's still one of my favorite actors, strictly from an acting perspective. From a human being, he definitely sounds really terrible. But I'm not going to stop watching The Usual Suspects or Pay It Forward or the first 5 seasons of House of Cards just because he's a terrible person. Let's see here. Media Twilight says, hey, Kevin, I think you should force Uberman to your monthly podcast with Drive Girl Drive, Uber Hint, Mike Driver. Haha. Well, in all fairness, I've asked him a couple times, but for personal reasons, which I won't reveal, he has politely declined, and that's fine. You don't have podcasting isn't for everyone. It really isn't. So it's fine. He's probably doing better with his car videos than I am with my podcast anyway. Let's see here. Uberman not a credible rideshare driver anymore, according to so and so. True or false? Should Uberman be commenting on rideshare anymore? Well, first of all, MS Silverhander handle nothing personal, but because of my channel policy, I am going to remove that comment, but I will address it. Uberman has every right to comment on Uber and rideshare. He put in his dues, and people who think that you have to be doing this full time to comment on anything, they're just nuts. Heck, someone even sent me an email. It was a really odd comment, I thought. And someone said, well, Kevin, rideshare changes so much. Unless you're driving, how can you properly comment on it? And I'm kind of thinking, no, it hasn't. How has rideshare changed that drastically? I'm sorry, did I miss something? Did I miss the part where you're no longer picking people up from point A and driving them to point B? No, it's still like that. So I will agree that if you're giving driving advice and not driving, you're probably not very relevant. But you can definitely comment on the business and not be driving. That's just crazy talk. Um, Transporter Tech said you guys should see Uber Hint's latest video about this whole relevancy topic. I actually did watch that video and I thought that was a good video. Uh, like see, Uberman said, I'd love to, but I don't like the hints guy. Well, yeah, I can't help. I can't help that. I think there. I would hope that at one point maybe there would be a topic that could unite us all together. But yeah, there was. I mean, and granted, not that I honestly never considered Uberman for the podcast just because I didn't think I could actually get him to agree to do that, to be honest. But I was looking for compatibility, and the three people that I found, we all had the most compatibility together, whereas other writers, YouTubers, I found out were a little incompatible with one another. So, guys, it's hard to put together a podcast and find the people to do what you need to do. It's just hard. Let's see here. So, yeah, not everyone likes anyone. Uberman claims he's the most humble guy you'll ever meet. Oh come on, Randy. Let's be real. It's a live stream. Trance. Oh. Uberman said, "Let's do it. Let's get along." Okay. Well, if the topic comes up, I will invite Uberman, and hopefully we can patch some things up. In the process, because contrary to what some people think, I actually don't like fighting with people. I I want to make things right as good as possible. It's just some people don't want to make things right. Uh, let's see here. Yeah, media Twilight. He actually cares about the driver. Well, let's step back with that comment because you know what? There are Uber YouTubers that I clearly do not like, and even though I dance around the subject with these people, not even a person, these people, um, I would probably never go so far as to say they don't care about the drivers. Even though I'm having issues with some of them, I do believe they care about the drivers. I think they just don't care about me, which is an entirely different thing. You can totally not like me. That's not illegal. I wish if you didn't like me, you would stop wasting my time and just unsubscribe, to be honest, but you don't have to like me. But I think even the YouTubers that I consider to be the absolute worst of the people in this ride sharing YouTube community, um, I think we got to find an official name for that. I think they do care about the drivers to at least a little bit of an extent, and so I'm not going to make that claim. Especially since I just don't know if that's true. Like I can't claim that this person doesn't care about drivers or this person's just doing it for money. I cannot make those claims. That's something that they have to deal with. So, you know what? And for the record, just because some people have asked, I will say this. If there are people out there who have issues with me who want to talk it out, I am more than happy to do that. I am just not going to engage in a public spectacle that doesn't help anyone. So, dang it. It feels like I need to make another video about this, but I really don't want to. Can I make a movie about Ninja Batman instead? By the way, who got this? Who got Batman Ninja? I really would be curious to know who got that. Um, let's see here. Oh, thanks, Superman, for the super chat. Awesome. Let's see here. Bruce Plano said, have Kevin go to Oklahoma this time. He will love the thunderstorms. Take him out storm chasing. Actually, it's really funny because I will be going to Oklahoma at some point in the future. I don't know when, but I want to do some road trips and, of course, make vlogs about them. And apparently, Randy says I have a place where I can hang my beanie while I'm over there. So I will probably take advantage of that when the time comes, but that's not going to happen this year. That's probably going to happen next year sometime. Um, let's see here. Media Twice said simple driver never say anything about warning the driver not to drive, but Randy Kevin the professor hint actually brave enough to make the video. Well, I don't know if it's brave saying not to drive. I think weird and Uber hints does encourage driving. He says it's worth it to him. And I think ultimately, I'm probably the most bullish on it. I will admit, I agree. I believe that it's not worth your time for the most part, but some people feel differently. So let's see here. Tony B. Hi, Tony. What time is it where you're at? God, what time is it? It's 10:28. Emma Silverhander, I am okay with most of the YouTube retro channels, but so and so basically trash most of them, or at least claim that they are irrelevant today. Well, and in all fairness, if that's the path he wants to take, that's the path he wants to take. Anyway, Tim Shearer, Uberman's my big brother. I'm proud. Oh, and by Uberman's response, I guess Tim's not lying. I guess Tim actually is his brother. So, welcome, Tim. This is what the competition looks like. I know it doesn't look like much, but here I am. Emma Silverhammer said, how do I get my Uber benefits that you were talking about earlier? Well, if you live in America, you're not going to be getting them. This is for Europe. So, SSSS said, I'm surprised you do not like Uber. Oh, that's probably for Uberman. Oh, thanks, Thomas. And thank you, Transporter. Oh, shoot. It just dawned on me. Transporter, you're a Patreon member. Oh, and I don't have you in the credits. Shoot, I need to fix that. I'm so sorry. That'll be fixed Monday at the latest. Monday. So, and oh, geez, Bruce gave 20. Wow. So, do we have a bidding war? Does anyone want to out super chat anyone? I'd be perfectly okay with that. Not necessary, but you can do it if you want. Let's see here. Tony, it's 11:29 here. You're in Illinois. Awesome. So, let's see here. Transporter Tech. Kevin's getting paid. Much deserved. I'm getting paid with most of my ventures. I really am. I mean, just because I don't show you guys what I earn, and it's not because I'm ashamed. It's because there's personal information on that stuff that I get some interesting threats. I have had people threaten to kill me. So there's just certain things I don't want to cross and give people a chance to potentially, hurt me or someone I love. So, but needless to say, most of my ventures are good, and the ones that aren't, I get rid of. Let's see here. Emma Silverhand said you'll have a very unbalanced life and have to drive continuously to make a living if you just do rideshare, and it's an endless grind. And I think a lot of people are figuring that out. Let's see here. 1:30 in Massachusetts. Awesome. Media Twilight, you guys are entertaining. I'll tell you that. You make ride sharing. Yeah. I would definitely love to actually do rideshare with some of the YouTube brothers and sisters out there. Let's see here. Transporter Tech, no problem. My friend, love the content. Okay, Uberman's donating another 20. He said donate 30. Beat that. Let's see here. Oh, Dark Road. Thank you, Dark Road Run. I thought you were catching the surge. Let's see here. Darley Pro said broke as a joke. Did yeah, Uberman, you started a war. You have started a super chat competition. This is gonna be fun. So let's see here. Emma Silver said Driver Lady Pro is part of the group in Chicago. No beard though. Well, guys, I'm gonna say it right now. You can like that person's channel. You can. I don't for a lot of reasons, but if you find value out of it, that's fine. It's perfectly fine. You don't have to choose one or the other. In fact, another guy who made a video about this whole, for lack of a better term, spat, even though I frankly stopped caring about it a couple of weeks ago, and apparently he still does, based on the emails I get. The internet's big enough for both of us. If you find value from my channel, great. If you find channel from his channel, great. You can find value from both. If you find value from his channel, but you don't find any from my channel, that's fine too. If you find value from my channel and not his, perfect. You're smart. But bottom line, there is no, you can watch whatever you want and nobody has to be offended. Plus, honestly, our videos are so drastically different. I don't even know what we're technically competing for. We make different videos. That's all it is. So yeah, I wish him the best of luck with everything he does. Moose said, Bruce, do you race? Tony retracted his message. Flacco said, you show class how you avoid the so-and-so comments. Good for you. And yeah, guys, for the record, I am going to make it known right now. I will be disabling any comment that refers to that person's channel. And after this is over. And here's why I'm going to do that. Because I think this has been like the most misunderstood thing since I put an end to this. I'm not directly addressing him because I am a coward or because I'm afraid. I am not addressing him because while most of my viewers are smart and they're sane, there is a good portion of people, I don't know who they are, that might harass him on his channel. That I will not let happen. I am not going to be responsible for people saying, this person said this in a video, so I had to go defend him. That is not going to happen. I do not endorse that. I do not endorse going to other people's channels you don't like just to fluff your chest or whatever. Don't bully people. I am strictly against that. I saw that movie Bully years ago. I was personally bullied so much when I was a kid. I was bullied because I didn't have good eye contact. I was bullied for my stutter. I was bullied because I loved Garfield books. Loved Garfield books. Thought they were the funniest books in the world. Obviously, my tastes have changed a little since then. But I do not want people to hassle that person. I do not. If you don't like his videos, don't watch them. If you like the videos, watch them. Not going to encourage that, and that's why every mention of him, as it relates to drama, if you will, have to be removed per my standards. It's not because I'm a coward. It's because I don't want to be responsible for fanning the flames. That's all it is. So anyway, I think I've said my piece on that. Hopefully, I don't need to mention it again. Uberman said fake surge. Oh, for Dark Road Run. Oh, you're heading out now, Dark Road. Transporter text going like, money, 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 money. I love that song. Although it kind of got ruined ever since that episode in Family Guy. I can't help but listen to it and laugh now when Brian is like peeing in the bushes and going like, money, money, money. I just love that scene from that show. Let's see here. Tony says, Uber, will you consider buying a Ford? Oh, okay. Driver Lady Pro said, not part of any group. No, I don't believe you are part of any group. You just watch videos. That's fine. SS said, sorry, working for 50 hours is an issue, let alone 60 for Uber. Well, yeah. And that is advice that I consider to be dangerous, but from personal experience, because I used to work 60 hours at Disneyland and did it for a few months, and it was so draining. Like, I could not in good conscience ever recommend people do that. So that disturbs me a little, but otherwise, most people figure that out. And the good thing about being an independent contractor, if you need to take a week off, well, you don't need, then there you go. Media Twilight said, hey, I actually Ubered the night the Golden State Warrior win the final in Oakland. Man, was crazy. Yep. Bruce Plato said, of course. Uber said, Tony, maybe. Oh, hey, Jason, I have not seen you in a while. Welcome back. It's always good to see old viewers return. MS Silverhammer said, Dara forgot to disable comments on his latest video, and I lambasted him. I saw that. And yeah, I was surprised Uber left the comments open. And that was surprising to me. Tony said, Uberman, they make great vehicles and they hold their value strongly. I turn mine to a luxury vehicle. They are also easy to fix because of 4. Oh, Bruce Planto said, how about $40? So he chipped in another $20. So Uberman, Bruce donated 40. Just saying. Transporter Tech said flame responsibly. Yes, please do. Driver Lady Pro said, yep, I get it, buddy. Lack of drama is a good idea. And Paul Crew said, wow, just saw this headline. Know you say this already. If the title is true, that's good news. Well, Paul got some slightly bad news for you. After this live stream is over, you can watch the first 15 minutes, which is really the only important part about this video. Now we're just having fun. It's it might not be as nice as you'd hoped. Crystal says, I watch so-and-so because he's relevant to me. He drives Chicago where I drive, and he's got that sexy beard, but he can be mean sometimes. And, hey, that's fine. That's a perfectly valid reason to watch him. That is a perfectly valid reason to watch him. I get it. And, yeah, Emma Silverhander, that is the kind of comments I do not want him reading. So just Garfield is still the bomb. See how behind I am? Something I was talking about 3 minutes ago. I'm just catching up to. Moose said, Uberman, do you fold? And Tony said, for the love of money, Ohio players, Uberman's full. Okay, Uberman folds. Let's see here. Thomas Nelson said, I think the problem is people have difficulty discerning full-time markets versus part-time markets. Yeah, there are some markets that are probably better suited to full-time than others, but honestly, even the full-time markets is pretty hard to make money. Oh, hi, Ollie. How you doing? Driver Lady Pro, not able to work 60 hours, not because I'm lazy. Work to live, not live to work. Right, exactly. Paul Crew said, Uberman, let me back in. Many sorries, brother. It was months. Oh, okay. Jason said, busy making up for the money I'm not making. I believe it. Thomas Nelson said, certain markets are economically and demographic. Oh, Uberman matched the $40. So, oh, wow. This is the most I have ever gotten in Super Chats, folks. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much this means to me. You don't have to do this, but I truly do appreciate it. Wow, I am humbled. I am humbled. I I wish I had another movie to just give out. I wish I did. I Okay, Thomas said demographics are destiny in business and politics. Yep. Darley Pro, I live in Chicago and I'm not mean and give good tips. Yes, I have actually watched your channel, Driver Lady Pro. You do give good tips. Uberman said that one guy will never match me, but he can continue to try catching up to me. Yep. Well, no, I'm not going to say that. Again, part of ending the conflict is you hold off on snide comments. So I will not comment on that. Ali said, Kevin, you made more in live than driving for Uber tonight. Yes, I did it in an hour and a half. Heck, an hour, considering the first super chat didn't come for till an hour into it. So, yeah. Let's see here. Tony says, Driver Lady Pro, good luck driving in Chicago unless your car is bulletproof. I hate going to Chicago to see my mother because she lives in Auburn. Correction. I don't know where that is, so sorry. Dark Road Run, I'm using my Postmates card to super chat. Oh, I hope you're just joking about that because that could definitely get you deactivated. So I appreciate it, but yeah, I hope you don't lose your job for that. Tony says, you're going to be rich if they keep super chatting you like this. Transporter Tech says, you got a lot of fans, Kevin. Well, I am closing up to 8,000 subscribers and almost 3,000 on the other channel, so I don't know why. I don't think I'm anything special, to be honest, but oh, thanks again. Driver Lady Pro, broke today, but you deserved it. Well, thanks. And, if you're broke, don't worry about it, seriously. I appreciate it. Just watching and thumbing up, that helps the videos and the channel, and it's free. So, there you go. Media Twilight, will you make more videos on Uber flying car in the future? Kevin, you deserve all this good thing. Haha. I probably will continue to comment on the flying cars despite myself. I don't think they're going to happen. I know Randy disagrees with me, but I don't think the flying cars are going to happen anytime soon. But yeah, as much as they are news, so I guess I will continue. Bruce has got to go and have a great Sunday, everyone. Yep, you have a great Sunday too. Moose, I think you're well over $100. Yes, I'm at 113 as I look now. So, boy, if I get to 300, I could afford the limited edition PlayStation 4. Don't worry, you don't actually have to do that, guys. I am more than happy with this. But yeah. Yeah, I love you too, Randy. Crystal Lisa, Dry Lady Pro, I'll have to check you out. Gustavo says, I remember working as an EMT in Chicago. Most got shot at Jackson Park Hospital. Luke Jan, I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. I used to work Superior for 10 years. I worked for Disneyland for like 3.5. I think the longest job I had was Fry's Electronics for 5 years. And then they wrongfully terminated me and I sued them and got a lot of money. Was able to travel the world on that money. Oh, oh, good night, Randy. Talk to you later. So let's see here. Flacco said, I am Tech Informer, but how do I super chat for you and Uberman? I'm so sorry. Maybe the spell check wasn't right. Well, under the chat button, there's like a dollar symbol, and you click the dollar symbol, and you put in how much you want to send as a money, and you connect either a PayPal or a credit card or a debit card, and minus the 20% fee that YouTube takes, I get all of that super chat. So, you know. Let's see here. Driver Lady Pro. I've been driving in Chicago for over a year and I've never had a problem. I use my brain. Yep. Gustavo said works for, well, a little farther out than I thought I was. MedX, your competition. Grinder A said, what's the best tactic to boycott driving for Uber? How do we drivers get the message out better to ones that are not well informed? Make a website, tell your friends, stop driving yourself. Old-fashioned word of mouth. Do what you can. Crystal Lee said, been driving over 2 years in Cheetown, never been shot. God is blessing me. Yes. Every day is a blessing, I believe. So, Ollie said, what is the new rideshare service that you mentioned in the podcast? The new rideshare service that I mentioned is called Yay Driver. And I guess I'll share that again. It's trying to do something different from Uber and Lyft. And, full disclosure, folks, I did do some consulting work on it. So when people say, why don't you make your own app? I kind of have. And I even went so far as to film the instructional video for that app because I do want it to succeed. I don't know if it will, but I hope it does. And the whole idea is that you pay a fee, a monthly fee, like $50 to $100 a month, and you get your own commercial insurance, but you get to keep 100% of the tips and the fare, which the fare is similar to what Uber and Lyft is charging. However, since you are not being taken a percentage and since they aren't doing the upfront pricing, well, are they? I don't know if they're doing the upfront pricing, but you will definitely see a huge difference in your earnings. So that's what it is. So and let people know about that. So let's see here. Transport Tech. Yeah, tonight was my first super chat. It was easy. It's pretty easy. I think I've caught up. So, good night, Media Twilight. Thanks for hanging all this time. So, Driver Lady Pro says sign me up. Well, it's in the Google store. I don't know if it's in the Apple store yet, but I hear they're in the final stages of getting it on the Apple store. So, let's see here. Luke John says, why don't Lyft have the long pickup fee in Chicago? I don't know. Ollie says, have you contacted them to be a promoter? I am in contact with them. For what reasons I cannot share here. But I wish them the best of luck. And I hope it catches on. If for no other reason, then I really just do want Uber and Lyft to have some competition, and it's doing something different. I won't deny that it is doing something very, very different. But I think we all agree that for the drivers and the passengers' sake, different is a good thing at this point. So let's see here. Thomas Nelson, tactics, strategy, beat driving aimlessly without purpose, sit in a parking lot at airport 60 deep in queue in your city, fast growing city in US with millennials and breweries over 850,000 population. Yep. Right here in a nutshell. Thomas K said Superchat takes 20%. Well, I do have a Twitch channel. The link is below, but people don't really show up on the Twitch channel yet. And hey, you know what? The way I see it, it's free money. If you guys are donating, I'm not earning it. You're just giving it to me out of the goodness of your heart, and I appreciate it. So yeah, even if it's 20%, oh well, who cares? I am appreciative of the support, even if I have to pay a fee. And by the way, I have to pay a fee for Patreon. It's just, and if someone gives me like a donation through PayPal, which you can do, the links below, of course. PayPal takes 5% of that. So yeah, unfortunately, unless you're giving me cash, which there's no possible way for you to do right now, unless you mail me the cash to the PO box, and I don't recommend doing that. I don't recommend doing that. Uh, I'm just gonna have to deal with fees. That's all there is to it. So
Let's see here. Moo says, how does Yay Driver make their profit and is there surge?
I'm actually a little unclear on whether or not there's surge. Um, I don't think it's implemented, yes, but there has been talk of implementing a surge. And Yay Driver makes their profits, or at least they want to make their profits, through the the subscription. So let me explain how this should work in theory. Let me pull out a calculator here. Um, Sorry, folks. Calculator. Here we go. So let's look at, like, let's say Uber has 850,000. Here, I'll switch it around. 850,000 drivers. Let's just assume that. Now, Yay Driver is not making their money from fees from your fare. They are charging you money. They are charging a monthly fee to be on their platform. Also, they are not paying for insurance or any of that thing. The driver's license coverage is your responsibility. And of course, that's a business expense. So basically, Yay Driver has taken it to where they have admitted they are only an app. Only an app. They're nothing else. They're only providing the app and it connecting you to the other drivers. And by the way, there's even talk about the future of the app making it so that experienced drivers might be able to name their own price. They actually have certified drivers and uncertified drivers. So it will actually, at least in theory, reward you for being a good driver. Now, let's say they're charging let's say $49.99. Although the standard price is going to be $100 for the record. That's how much money they're making each month on $50. If they were to do that with $100, that's how much they're making a month. Now, obviously, they don't have those numbers yet. But in theory, if they could do that, and they're not taking care of the expense that, like, they're not paying out promotions, or, well, I mean, there's going to be a promotion program, obviously, at some point. But they're not doing boosts, and they're not doing surge as of yet. And they're not paying for your insurance because you're paying for your insurance. They're just collecting that money. That's almost $85 million a month if they had Uber's numbers, paying $100 a month. And the thing is, like, if you make like $2,000 a month driving for Uber and Lyft, with Yay Driver, you would be making an additional 25% of that because they're not taking out the fee. That's an additional couple $100. And the subscription is a business expense as well. So that is Yay Driver's plan. So now, will they be successful? That is another topic. I hope they do, not only because I've consulted for them. I would like to see it succeed, but I think we do need something to shake up this industry, and
The idea of the drivers taking the personal responsibility and not relying on the rideshare company might just be a good way to do it. So, yes, people can send me bitcoins, Transformer Tech. Um, which market will they launch?
I believe they're launching in Florida and LA first, but you'd have to double check.
Um, Thomas says, just leave your routing number for tips. No, I'm not going to leave my routing number. I know it's a joke, but I'm not doing that. Uh, Ollie says, yeah, Uber's taking so much out of our earnings, and let's make them successful together.
Yep. So, and by the way, folks, that $100 I'm talking about, I believe for the first month that they're in operation, they are discounting that fee to $50. So, and I don't know how long that lasts, but if you want to do it long term, and if you love doing rideshare long term, 50, you would be getting the service for half off. So, Jason says, "Yay, driver sounds like a dream." Yep. If it can get pulled off, I really should make a video about Yay Driver. I should. Um, Paul Cruz says, great idea. May come back to driving 20 to 30 hours per week if that happens. I think a lot of people would because, and again, the rates are going to be competitive with Uber and Lyft because unfortunately the passengers still have to be taken into account. Passengers are not going to pay $2.50 a mile when they can pay $1.20 a mile. That's just how it's going to be. But if they can pay the EA drivers $1.20 a mile and they're professionally certified, well then, that is that's a game changer. So, and again, on the driver's side, if you're not paying the fee, you're pretty much getting your $1.50 a mile once you factor in the time. Oh, here's the other thing. Yay Driver does pay more for the time. I think they pay 40 cents a minute, or they charge 40 cents a minute. So that on that factor, you will make more money. You will at least make minimum wage on Yay Driver. So could definitely make. A driver would probably have to have insurance coverage in California if a driver has a PAX or is going to pick up a PAX. I like the idea. Please make video on your driver well. And I have discussed I've discussed that with the founder of Yay Driver. His name is Slavic. Um, and I've expressed concerns with that. But here's the thing. Again, this is where your own insurance comes into the equation. If you get your own commercial driving insurance, you are effectively a driving business owner. You get the sticker, you are certified. And so if anything happens to the passenger, that insurance is what covers it. So that is where you would be protected in California. It's not going to be a situation where unfortunately just anyone can do it. If you're not willing to get that driver's insurance and get certified, then you're not on the A driver platform. It's just that simple. They are looking for qualified, safe drivers. So, um, and I know some people are not going to like that because that's a few more hoops than they want to jump through. I know your personal driver would probably jump on that because I think he already has that. Peterson has that license too, so he might even give it a try. Who knows? But I do know that the average person won't do that. But I'm hoping that they become successful enough to hang in there, and then people can start seeing the benefits that, yeah, when you're your own personal boss, you got to pay these expenses. That's just how it is. Um, but that it ultimately, in fact, I will say, our bearded buddy from Chicago could easily make an additional $300 to $600 a week on Yay Driver under their rules, and just have to pay a nominal monthly fee for the insurance and the licensing fee, both of which could be written off, and I can guarantee he'd be a lot happier. So, let's see here. Ollie says, yes, make a video with Yay rideshare representatives. Crystal Lee said, do a Yay vlog for us. I'll sign up. All rideshare drivers should diversify. Yes, they should. Okay, Emma Silverhammer said, what's happening with the rideshare professor's big lawsuit against Get and Juno? I don't know. I'm sure he will update us when he has information. Ideas to Life said, I will drive for you in Florida and sign up another 100 drivers. Awesome. Moose said 40 cents per mile is $24 per hour. I like that. Yes. Let's see here. Paul says, what does a person need to navigate through the process to be certified? Let's see here. As with most things, I believe it starts with a website. So let me just look something up real quick. Let's see here. It's like apply to be a a certified driver. Um, let's see here. I think I did this. Certified driver's license. What's this? Commercial driver's license program. That's what I'm looking for. So, I believe. Anyway, I believe this is where it starts. Wait, or maybe not. I just saw that. So, is this, okay, that's probably not, what's this? Uh, hmm. See, this is stuff that I need to research. This is actually how tedious my job really is. How to be a certified black car driver. I think they're called black cars. Black car driver's license. Okay, I think this is closer. Blackcardriver.com. This is how you become a TLC black car driver license. And this is what, once you have this, then you can start the application process with your personal insurance company. And if your insurance company does not offer certified driving insurance and rideshare insurance, I'd probably get both. Then they could probably recommend you to a company that will offer that. But it's out there. You just have to dig a little bit. And I think that's probably going to be Yay drivers' biggest hurdle. They're going to need to educate drivers on how to do that, because I wouldn't say it's the most difficult process in the world, but it's not as easy as it should be. So anyway, does Yay have a website? Yeah, they do actually. Let's I just clicked it, but yep, there it is. yaydriver.com. So they have about us, contact us, become a driver. I think I actually have to check. I might have a promotional code for this, and if I do, I will include it in the link below. And that would probably streamline the process just a little bit. Let's see here. Paul Cruz says I have a Class A, but the other stuff I don't know about. Would it be like a limo business? It wouldn't be a limo business. But I mean, like other apps, there's different levels of the kind of car you're going to be driving on the platform. But commercial vehicle insurance is just that. It's commercial vehicle insurance. You do a search for that, or call your insurance provider and ask about it. They'll tell you what that is. Emma Silverhander said this sounds like Juno. Many drivers signed up ahead of time, and then Juno sold all their names to get in order to get a big buyout. Trust but verify. Well, I have talked to the founders. They have assured me that's not the case. That's not what they're aiming for, and I believe them. If they do that, I guess it's their company. They have every right to, but I'm not under the impression. I like just promoting all the options out there, especially if it'll take something away from Uber. So CDL, US Trucker stuff, yeah, I kind of figured that out. Flacco said, we need a rideshare company that just wants to make money and not want to buy driverless cars. Well, this company doesn't want to buy driverless cars. Let's see here. Gustavo says, at this point, starting your own cab service with your own set prices and licensing seems better than driving for rideshare. Well, except you have to You have to sell people on your business from the ground up. Rideshare is the future. Make no mistake. It's just I hope it's not with Uber. Let's see here. Transport Tech, yay driver, never heard of it. I'll check it out. Okay. Luke John said a specific publisher chauffeur license is required for the type of public passenger vehicle driven. Examples of such vehicles include, but not limited to, taxi cabs, livery vehicles, pedicabs. Livery license. Um, let's see here. Moose says, is it a TNC license we are talking about? It might be. Not 100% sure though. Again, I guess the only reason I haven't made my video about this is because there's still a couple points I'm a little murky on myself. And I mean, I know I've published videos where I say I don't know what this is or I've made mistakes, but I try not to. I know it's not always obvious, but I try to get the information correctly. And that's the only reason I haven't discussed Yay Driver in anything but the podcast and now this live stream. This is the most extensive I've talked about it, actually. So for whatever that's worth. So, guys, I am 5 minutes away from 2 hours. 5 minutes away from 2 hours. So, I will definitely get to that 2 hours, but I don't know. might have to roll it in. It's hard to hold this. So, let's see here. Off topic, but since it is something that's been bothering me, I haven't driven for quite a while. So, since gas is over $4 a gallon CA, is it even worth it for the wear and tear of the car? Thanks. I'm personally of the opinion no, unless you have a Prius. That might be the only time that it might kind of still be worth it, but otherwise, no, I don't think so. Let's see here. Brian Payne said going on 3 weeks now, and Uber still has not processed my background check. Well, there's also a referral bonus that I'm supposed to get that they haven't processed, so they will take their sweet time on certain things. Yep, let's see here. Luke John says, yeah, this is a cluster F, plus every state is different. That's the other hurdle for Yay Driver. Every state has different process for getting to be a certified driver. But Yay Driver, that's fine for them because, again, they're making their money off the Costco memberships, if you will. They're not making money off the rides. So, let's see here. Silver Hammer says, Brian Payne, you're lucky. Get out while you can. That's... Yeah. Well, Brian Payne, if you haven't used a referral, email them and let you know. Tell them that you didn't get your referral bonus either. Like maybe they'll give it to you. Use my referral code. So, anyway, I am determined to get to the 2 hour mark. We're at 1:57, and then I'll probably start wrapping it up. Brian Payne, LOL, not in it for the money. Well, that's fine, but you can still get your referral. I mean, a $500 bonus is a $500 bonus. I don't think you'd scoff at that. Again, if I got $300 tonight, I could get the PlayStation 4 limited edition that just came out. Because PlayStation 4, I don't have a PlayStation 4, and I really... Oh, wait, I don't have it because I wanted the Pro. But they're still a little expensive, and now I'm a little concerned about getting it because of talks of them making a new console. On the other hand, my Xbox One has not been used nearly that much the last couple of years, except to watch movies and stuff. And the Switch, oh my god, I love the Switch. The Switch is amazing. I've actually been playing this thing more than I've been playing the Xbox One. That's really interesting. Although, on the other hand, I also have this as an e-reader. It's a Nook, for the record. Moose says, what is max time streaming on YouTube? I believe it's 8 hours, if memory serves. Because I know that UberLyft Chell, oh, I hope I'm saying that correctly, but she does these crazy 5 to 7 hour Uber live streams. Like, absolutely insane. Like, and from what I can tell, she doesn't have live chat enabled, which I'm not sure why. Because I think she'd take a lot of money, especially when she like drives through like the drive-through. There'd probably be like 10 people there waiting to buy her lunch. But to answer the question officially, I think 8 hours, and I am not doing this for 8 hours tonight. I'm sorry. Maybe with a better setup, maybe I wouldn't mind trying, but I don't feel like doing that tonight. Luke John says, best thing to do is Uber someone before work on the way and on the way back home from work. That's how, yeah, that is how rideshare was supposed to work. And then it definitely changed quite a bit. And it's not like that anymore. Uh, Flacco says, how do you feel about setting a limit on the amount of drivers allowed in my market? We have about 10,000. I agree with it. I agree with that. I think that should be the case. I think a little limiting wouldn't kill anyone really. Let's see here. P.S. Got a 2004 Toyota Corolla. Can get up to 25 in town and 30 on the highway miles per hour. Was using Maestro, which helps since I'm in the Central Valley where no bonuses are given. Yeah. Yeah, and that's where Maestro and Maximo, which should be noted, are very useful. So, in fact, if you look at some of my other videos that have sponsors, you can get like a 60-day free trial on Maximo. So, I feel dirty saying that because Uberman was just here and he works for Maestro, so I don't want to take customers away from his company. But yeah, give my sponsor a try because if you give them a try, they might sponsor more of my videos. Transporter Tech says all the time you can spare is awesome. Been funding. Thanks. Oh, I'm muffled. Oh, I'm sorry. That's probably because I was I was covering up the microphone. That's why. So sorry about that, guys. Let's see here. Moose said, "What is UberLyft policy on filming passengers inside your car and posting on YouTube?" I don't see that happen much. Their policy, it's different. Lyft doesn't want you to record. Uber lets you record and encourages you to record. It's a little murky on whether or not you should be uploading the stuff on YouTube, though. I was under the impression that that could get you suspended, and in fact, Uberman, I believe, was suspended for showing at one point clips from dash cam recordings uh, on on YouTube, but they reinstated him. But then on the other hand, your personal driver does it all the time, and nobody seems to care. So I don't know. Let's see here. Brian Payne says, I use it to change my sleep pattern. My job, I work all kinds of hours. I drive weekend nights, then work changes me to working at nights. I sit at home, I fall asleep too early. Transporter Tech says, Ryan is driving, does it, and he has 500,000 subs. Yeah, Ryan is driving is crazy. But then he's also not a typical rideshare channel. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. I like his channel quite a bit, but he's kind of like almost candid camera or TMZ for rideshare, in my opinion. Like he gets people in the car and they are doing scuzzy things, and he posts a video, and it's brilliant, really. And as a result, he's kicking my butt in the numbers, so good for him. Uh, let's see here. Techno Power said, Maximo, I'll have to check that out. Sweet. Was a beta test teaser for Maestro, so I'm kind of brand. Oh, I see. Yeah, a couple of Ryan's videos did go viral. Particularly one where a lady got into the car and canceled the ride just as it was starting, and he did kick her out. He kicked her out because he felt like he could take her if she caused a problem. So, and that video went very viral. So he made a lot of money on that video. Um, Emma Silver said Ryan is driving must get permission from riders to air on YouTube. I don't know if that's true though, because he's uploading videos from people who are usually so mad at him that they walk out the car. I don't know where he gets the permission, but I think he has the sticker that says you may be recorded. And I think that protects him legally. Um, so anyway, guys, I'm actually getting kind of tired. So any last super chats? Any final questions? Now's the time because I think I've got 10 minutes left in me at most. Let's see here. Like your personal driver doesn't show packs, audio only of packs. He shows his face in a map. That is true. That is true. Our Lady Pro says, nope, the car is public pace. Yeah, but states do have laws about whether or not you can film them. So that's a little different, but each time. But there you go. Any final ones? Well, Hey, Dave, the Uber guy from Canada. How you doing? Sorry that you came in. Like we're just about to wrap this up. Luke John says you look better in baseball cap. Yeah, I probably do, but I uh, I don't want to. I want to have my own style, and the beanie is my own style. Like people say about the guy with the beanie, they know who they're for that video because Honolulu capped the surge. Get it? So that's I was being funny that day. Um, Gabriella's famous fabulous life said, "Did you hear about the glitch in Uber that kicks the everybody off for background checks happen?" Yeah, I've heard about that. That's unfortunately been going on for a very long time, and Uber has no intention of fixing it anytime soon. Transporter Tech says, "Yeah, one party rule. In some states, you can record as long as one person in the video consents, even if it's you." Lucan said, "Better than the beer guy." Well, I think we're different personally, but I appreciate that. Techno Power said, "Last I checked, camera was legal in CA if you have a warning sticker, which I have both." Yep. Um, let's see here. MSL here. When I make over $20 per hour with Uber, which I used to do, I will super chat you. Maybe when I'm rich like Uber man from working with companies like. Hey, look, you don't have to super chat me. I mean, I got way, way more than I expected to tonight. Like, wow. I am definitely humbled to be honest, but yeah, no, you don't have to do it. I understand money's tight, so just continue the thumbs up and watch the videos and share them. That that also helps me make money and grow, and it's free. So, all right. So, Luke John, good night, and I'm gonna wrap it up too. So, thank you everyone for watching. And if there's anyone who's watching this not on the live stream and are watching it after the fact, you know what? I thank you again for sticking throughout this whole thing. But comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe if you like the videos I make responsibly. Have a good one.